live broadcast. And I think we are live. Are we live?
I'm refreshing the YouTube page.
It says we're live.
Oh.
Is it there? If it's not there, we're gonna...
Oh, okay. Yes, we're live.
Okay, we're live. Hi. Oh,
we're
yes.
Live.
Yes, it's just sent to the Discord server. Look, guys, you should join the server. Like, it's kind of cool. It's pretty cool.
Let me put in the announcement that we're live.
I'm doing it.
Okay.
I'm too quick for you. Too bad. I'm quick on the draw. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to DBM cast number 5. Yes, number 5. Today, we're in for a big one. Last time we had a matchup that was a little bit shorter on the content side. So... we decided to go with something a little bit bigger. My name's Saul. I'm one of 2 owners of this cast. And joining us this time, not last time, since someone was lost hiking, is our good friend, Pin.
Greetings.
Okay, alright, you get your Brainiac, but come on now. Are we already starting the ego complex?
We'll see.
And... joining us as well, I will turn myself down on the stream, is Jim, who is our judge. And, yeah. Say hi, Jim.
Hello.
I like giving everyone their time to introduce themselves each cast. You never know when new people are watching. Okay, today we're in for an exciting cast that might take us 5 hours to debate. We are doing, probably, is this an original matchup, Pin?
My original
I'd say it's the first original matchup of a user who's associated with the cast. Today we are debating. You're technically first on the name. Pin.
Brainiac.
Yes.
Versus
the Master. So it's DC versus Doctor Who. If you thought Superman versus the Doctor was bad, get ready for this one.
Yeah. I'd like to firstly, I'd like to shout out the G1 Ultron versus Brainiac blog. It's helped me out a lot for this debate. Thank you guys for that.
I just want to promote an account called Doctor Who Feats on Instagram, who helped me power scale a lot of Doctor Who stuff because they've covered a lot of content from out all of the new era of Doctor Who and the comics, especially the comics.
So for this debate, we are pretty much going to be basically compositing everything they've ever had in their canon material.
Yeah.
Just to make things more fair and
interesting. I feel like it's a much more interesting debate if you give them access to literally everything they have rather than what can we limit them to? Okay. I guess it's time for our standard introductions, and since your name is first, Pin, who is Brainiac? And tell us in the least amount of time that you can, because he's a pretty big character.
Okay, so very, very brief synopsis. So Brainiac is basically a big nerd. He is a robotic alien machine created on the planet Kolu, a planet that's millions and millions of miles from Earth, that was a very technological-based, super advanced society, and a scientist named Vox created an android based on himself that eventually took over and, killed everybody. And what Brainiac likes to do is he loves to learn. He loves knowledge, and he wants all the information for himself and everything else to just, he wants to be his. He wants to be all him. And his biggest nemesis from that is a little planet called Krypton, a planet he destroyed and bottled. Yes, that's right. Brainiac was the very culmination in the hope being called Superman, his biggest enemy. Now, who is the Master?
Okay, I'm going to try and be as quick as I can with this one. The Master, Missy, the Luminat, the Decade, there's a lot of different names that this person goes by, is a Time Lord from the planet Gallifrey. The Master used to be best friends with the Doctor, but the Master wanted power, and the Doctor was like, no, you can't have power. So the Master said, I'm leaving Gallifrey. Good thing that they did. The Master attempts to try and take over the world throughout Doctor Who's massive history. Of course, they have the British person debating Doctor Who. He's done this in many different ways. The Master has become the president, has tricked the Doctor's companions into dying at his hands. The Master doesn't really go through any significant changes until we get to the 12th Doctor and the incarnation of Missy. Missy was a character who had started to learn the empathy of the Doctor before being promptly shot down by that president version of himself, because they're two exact same things. The Master then came back and revealed to the Doctor their deepest secret, that they are the reason why Gallifrey exists. Currently, the Master's whereabouts is unknown, as the last that we've seen them was in the golden tooth of the Toymaker. What plans do they have for the Master? I don't know. Who will play the Master? Will it be me? Probably.
Okay, Jerem, since you are our judge today, I'll let you start the dictation of what you think should happen next.
I unplugged my headphones. I hope that hasn't cut the audio. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
It
Uh-oh.
probably didn't.
Probably
let me
hasn't.
turn my-
Just stay like that for the rest of the debate. That's funny.
I'm here. I just cut my
Hold on, I'm listening.
Okay.
Okay, no, you sound fine. You sound fine.
Did Jim ask anything? If Jim doesn't know where to start, I can start.
So I think, from what I know, these two probably aren't very big stats-wise, so we probably want to start with that.
Okay.
Okay. I'll start with stats since that's probably a little bit more simple. So stat-wise, Brainiac has consistently and very easily can scale to Superman, even Superman that's not holding back. And as we know, Superman can punch, infinitely powerful throughout like an infinitely sized universe, and it can even keep up with Superman on a regular basis. So, and there's been very, very, things that say that Superman has infinite speed and has even kept up with the Flash. So, for Brainiac, it's infinite speed and strength. Pretty simple.
So, guys, do you like cosmology? If you said yes, leave the cast. Leave. You're not a real person. Nobody likes cosmology. There is this item in Doctor Who known as the Glory. Bum bum bum. The fear of every Doctor Who power scaler. The Glory is a omniversal spectrum, and is the focal point of the Omniverse. Now, if you don't know where an Omniverse is, imagine a universe, then forget about that. Imagine a multiverse, then forget about that. Imagine one higher. Basically, whoever controls the Glory has control over the entirety of the multiverse, which Doctor Who cosmology is weird and wild, and we're kind of going to have a dedicated section for that. But other powers that the Doctor... can obviously scale to the Master, because they scale to each other. I kind of wanted, that's where the point I was going to start with. The Master can scale to the Doctor. A lot of their gear is the same. Their TARDISes should be comparable, and the laser sonic screwdriver that the Master has is directly stated to be better than the Doctor's sonic screwdriver. And breathe. Right, before the recreation of the universe, because that happened, Time Lord, there was no spatial temporal dimensions, no narratives or stories. I'm using also, I should have mentioned Rick vs. Dr. G1, which helps you, which would put the Master on an 11th dimensional scale, which we'll get into higher stuff later. As for speed, there's infinite and immeasurable speeds all around Doctor Who. The Doctor has been able to grab objects moving at super infinite speeds. Time Lords can exist certain extents outside of time itself. And the Doctor could defy chronology? Yeah, sorry, I'm really bad at pronouncing words today. And landed a few punches before they had impacted, moving at impossible speeds. So, immeasurable to infinite, high omniversal Doctor. Did the Master return from being erased by the Glory or whatever? Yeah, we'll get to that. This is just stat stuff for now.
So, in terms of stats, both are infinite strength and speed.
Stats aren't where the focal point of this matchup is, anyway.
So, Jerome was right where stats don't really matter, because they're pretty much the same.
Yeah. If you give them everything, which we are. I guess it's time Super infinite speed? Have we discovered something faster than infinite? No, I'm not even joking. The comic literally says super infinite speed.
Yeah. So, yeah. So they're both fucking bullshit in every single way.
Yeah!
That's just the tip of the iceberg.
Welcome to Doctor Who and DC.
DC fucking comics. Oh, okay. Germ, any questions?
No, not really. Both of you provided like
Doctor
pretty
Who
solid.
asked. Doctor Who asked.
Yeah, both of you provided pretty solid arguments, I think. So I think we should probably move on to. Do you want to move on to abilities or gear?
It's weird because Brainiac's
probably-
going to be ability heavy and the Master's going to be kind of gear heavy.
So, Brainiac both has gear and abilities intertwined together. He can't, he doesn't, have abilities outside of his... that's kind of hard to explain.
Okay.
We can start with equipment.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
I'll let the Master go first.
So, yeah, you might imagine that the Doctor Who character has a lot of gear. Who would have guessed? The Doctor has something called the sonic screwdriver. Nobody likes the sonic screwdriver, so the Master said, I'll make myself a laser screwdriver. They are very comparable in what they can do, which includes stuff like hacking, unlocking things, scanning, merging timelines together. There was 40,000 infinite timelines that was able to be merged, can manipulate energy, magnify stuff, erase memories from people's minds, from devices, stuff like that. Can also manipulate reality in certain ways. Say, you can create heat with it, have chemical reactions, ignite explosives. The sonic screwdriver, the laser screwdriver, see, I'm going to have to mention both all the time, can negate regenerative effects and matter manipulation. There were creatures that a shockwave managed to nullify the regeneration. The laser screwdriver can affect as causality, which is where the universe is at that point. Basically, you can put things outside of the universe. BFR and dimensional manipulation. Basically, there was these creatures known as the Boneless, which are higher dimensional creatures which come down into our universe to feed. Yeah, what's up?
Sorry, you just cut out for a second.
Oh, whoops. Basically, yeah, so it can send them back to a higher dimensional plane. I think that's covering a lot of what the sonic screwdriver can do, which isn't just basic random powers that wouldn't really affect the matchup. The Master has his own TARDIS, just because he stole one to leave, just as the Master did. Just as the Doctor did. Oh gosh, and they have very similar feats and powers. In terms of the TARDIS's durability, it has a shield which can block attacks from 5D dimensional beings, which were able to break down physics in just by existing. Yay. And one of the most important feats, because I was saving for this, I was kind of loving that I found this feat before, is that the Toy Maker, the hyper kind of out-of-versal god of the Doctor Who universe, is there's a room inside of the TARDIS that it creates and manages to negate the time room, not the time room, the toy room, because the Toy Maker has his own dimensional room, and then got him out of the TARDIS without him knowing. Obviously, it's a lot more passive of what he can do. The TARDIS can also do other stuff. The TARDIS managed to kill someone called House. House MD, you know that show, House?
Dr. House?
They killed Dr. House! No, House was an individual who feeded on TARDISes. And that's important for other cosmology stuff later. And a TARDIS that was angry managed to kill this individual. There's other stuff that TARDISes can do, especially when it comes to the Master's own TARDIS, which is... it can block off heat signatures, it can telepathically contact people, and can very much mess with the temporalness of people inside the TARDIS can change space, warp time around them, and just kill you and not let you use the TARDIS. You just wonder how that motherfucker gets stolen all the time if he can just do this. I guess the Doctor has the safety settings turned on.
It's like the ultimate nullifier. Where it just has the safety on.
Also, the 5D butterfly thing was a shield.
Okay.
So it's not even the physical TARDIS who eventually took a hit from that butterfly thing.
Okay. So, does the Master have anything else besides the TARDIS and the screwdriver?
Yes. Quite a bit depending on what you want to go into. The Master has many different weapons. I think the most important is that even if the sonic screwdriver is destroyed or harmed in any way, there is things like the sonic umbrella. Because, you got to be fashionable. Am I right? Yeah. And, there was the Key of Rassilon. So the Key of Rassilon was a Time Lord artifact which allowed people to enter the Matrix. Time Lords were like, guys, you can't steal or break this key. So the Master was like, I'm going to steal and break the key. And
actually...
accessing the Matrix, it's a AI which experience basically all the Time Lords put their knowledge inside of it. And also, the Master, just more recently with the new Sacha Dwayne one, he absorbed all the knowledge and history of the Cybermen. So there was this, I think it was called like the Cyber Network or something like that. But basically it had all the history and the time and the knowledge, and the Master absorbed it. And the Master can just summon these Cybermen and
Cybermen about that, Saul.
Yeah.
How vast is the Cybermen's knowledge and history?
Oh, I can't say anything. I'm so sorry.
Bro, try
to say something. You're the judge.
You can say something, Jim.
No, I'm not allowed to argue as well.
You're just providing additional conflicts.
Oh, if I can just provide information?
Yeah.
So, wait, what'd you say, Pen?
I said, how vast is like the knowledge and the history of the Cybermen?
They've traveled throughout time and space, alternate universes. They met Matt Smith, like, in real life.
The real-life actor.
Yeah.
They have
a large history then.
This would also give him some access to something called the Cyber Mainframe, which is a large cyber network which linked all the Cybermen across parallel universes and alternative timelines, and any other converted life forms.
So he has a very vast army.
Oh,
yes.
It's the cyber web.
He would have. I think it's the cyber.
It's the cyber web.
That's the thing that you'd have, the cyber machine, yeah. The Cyberium, Cyberium. It's like a battle AI thing.
So, for Mr. Brainiac, in terms of equipment, I think what he's most known for is his school ship.
His school ship?
His school ship.
Oh, I thought you said school.
No.
I get school ship.
He's a teacher as well.
He is a teacher.
Hey kids, let's go on an adventure. Cruising around on Main Street. Relaxing feeling.
Hey kids, let's go kill Superman.
Please let this be a normal field trip.
Love to do that. So yeah, he's most known for his skull ship. And what can this little skull ship do? Well, it has warping capabilities of instantly traveling across the galaxy or the universe in almost an instant, even outpacing Superman at times. So again, an infinite speed ship that can pretty much go anywhere he wants, anytime he wants. The starship possesses immensely powerful energy and particle beam weaponry, capable of obliterating entire planets with a mere push of a button. They have a tractor beam that he can pull enemies towards himself if he needs to. A force field that's too durable for Superman to break through. Even if this barrier is broken, the ship is durable enough to tank a full power of New Krypton's global defense cannons, Cyborg, Superman's heat vision, and an assault from Superboy.
Cyberman, my beloved.
The ship also has its own giant metal tendrils, which can ensnare or assault an opponents on a pretty much any side of the planet. They're strong enough to even hold Superman.
Oh, that's a feat.
Mm-hmm.
Though, actually, I should ask, like, are they physically trapping Superman, or are they like dampening his powers with like a red sun or something?
It has a red sunbeam, but no, it can just hold Superman without that.
Oh, okay. I feel like that's important to note.
So Brainiac does have Kryptonian, right, kryptonite stuff, but most of the feats he has don't revolve around using it.
Okay.
He also the ship also can turn invisible. That is so powerful that the invisibility can fool Superman's kryptonite vision. This is gonna sound really stupid, but the ship also has a time travel ray. That
Of course it does.
it can just time travel millions, pretty much anywhere Brainiac wants to. He can time travel. He uses it to follow the Flash. He can even put the ray on somebody else and make them time travel anywhere he wants. Really,
Wait, a ring or a ray?
a ray, like a ray gun.
Oh, okay.
The ship also, of course, has ion rockets, homing torpedoes, red solar energy, beams of red sun radiation, solar aggressive power. Okay, and it also has a solar aggressor powerful enough to make a star go supernova.
A babooey.
The ship also has Omega Spears, which can rain down upon a planet and destroy it instantly, so another planet-destroying weapon that it casually has. And probably its most famous weapon that the ship has is its shrinking capabilities. So, Brainiac's ship can shrink an entire city down to hold inside of a bottle, which that's Brainiac's favorite thing to do. He loves putting things in jars.
In the jar,
And
go.
not only can he shrink planets, he can shrink cities, and he's been able to shrink entire timeline. Yes, an entire infinite DC timeline. Brainiac can shrink.
What? How do you shrink a timeline?
What do you mean? You just do it.
Yeah.
How? Wait, is he in the timeline or is he outside the timeline?
We'll get to that, but Brainiac can exist outside of DC timelines.
Oh God.
So yeah, he could shrink and put entire timelines inside of his jars. And if something is shrunken down enough, Brainiac has claimed they will simply cease to exist altogether.
I mean, yeah, that's how shrinking works.
Yeah. When shrinking an area, the ship's scanners can determine the structure and traits of life forms within them. These scanners can also detect energy signatures and have matrices which allow for greater navigation through three-dimensional space. So yes, it can shrink an infinite-sized plane and pretty much scan the entire thing while it's doing it. And if something unfortunately goes inside of the skull ship, it has a number of robots and other Brainiac bodies which act as ship security, acting as an overwhelming for any intruder through sheer numbers and force. And if somebody, God forbid, tries to eliminate all of them, Brainiac could just keep making more and more and more until the person who he's finding is dead. Pretty much an infinitely sized, army that he can make.
Mm-hmm.
He can also, put his own army out into the world by teleporting them outside of it. That's how he usually conquers planets, is through his sheer number and his army. His drones, like his Terminator-esque robots that he has for his army, they've regularly fought Superman. They can blast energy from their eyes, project a force field around a citywide area, extend their arms to make, a long-range attack. Individual drones have a personal force fields durable enough to withstand heat from Superman and Supergirl at the same time. And they can also scan, they can detect a highest technology on an entire planet, as well as identify a target species and analyze their blood, transmitting the information back to Brainiac on his ship. And that's just one of his weapons. So
that was just the ship?
That was just the ship.
Okay, oh God.
That was just what Brainiac's ship can do by itself.
Okay, before we move on, I have a question about the ray.
Uh-huh.
can it only be used on other people, or would Brainiac just like shoot himself in the face to go back in time or something?
It can work on a ship or himself.
Okay.
It can work on anything. So, another thing that Brainiac has, so one time, Brainiac took control of a place called Warworld. Warworld is a techno-organic planet which Brainiac has full control over. This planet is filled with alien warriors that can be piloted through space in order to invade or destroy other worlds. The fearsome nature of the station cannot be underestimated. Merely passing near Earth would have torn apart the moon if it weren't for the planet's null gravitational generators. It possesses near limitless destructive force, wiping out an advanced civilization over on Almerac and inspiring fear in the likes of Darkseid and Highfather. Brainiac can telepathically communicate with all the planet's citizens and giving him full control over its facilities and artificial atmosphere. Even a single strike of lightning from this planet is powerful enough to harm Superman. Thanks to his integration with the planet, its walls acted as his ears and eyes, allowing him to detect Wonder Woman and the Flash's actions as they occur without them even being able to see him. He could use the planet's teleportation technology to send alien troops to Earth and teleport the planet itself wherever he chooses to. The planet also has an antimatter robot. At one point, Brainiac released an organic construct from Warworld that was powerful enough to hurt Kilowog, the very powerful Green Lantern. And once it was destroyed, the antimatter exploded enough to harm a couple planets. It also has a yellow disk energy grid that he can use to surround an entire city that is pretty much impervious to any attack. Yeah, Brainiac will steal the moon. The planet can also has another that can also cloak itself and hide it from sight.
I think I've lost myself.
What's that?
I think I tabbed down and listened back in like 5 minutes ago. Like, what information overload?
Sorry.
Yeah, you just gave like an essay.
Yeah, I have no idea about half of the stuff you even said, Pin. You're on about
It's
moon
very
destruction
strong.
now for random.
It's very, very strong.
Okay, I have some stuff I
It's
want to
basically a
go.
planet of alien technology.
I want some stuff to go into.
Okay. Go ahead.
Have you ever heard of the story of Superman? The Doctor has some bullshit like that, and the Master, because it's Time Lord physiology. When a Time Lord's life is threatened or finds himself in an impossible situation to solve, I shit you not, reality manipulates itself. In like, imagine like not just luck, not just probability manipulation. No. It's a full casuality thing. The whole reality. So, like, you know, situations where it's like, the enemy's distracted for too long. The writers explained that as, oh yeah, the world is just bending around Time Lords. That's why they get out of so many prevalent situations. It is stated that events will just happen in a way that a Time Lord would win. Obviously, it comes into conflict when two Time Lords are battling each other.
Okay, really quick, I'm very sorry. Could you, like, paraphrase what you just said?
So basically, the universe itself, fate as a concept, manipulates itself so a Time Lord would win.
Oh, sort of like Superman?
Yes, that's what I started. That's why I said if you ever heard of the story of Superman. And this isn't just for the Doctor, it's a Time Lord thing, because Time Lord physiology, which I would get into, but I don't know if I should. Should I get into Time Lord physiology, guys? Because they're not just humans.
Go
To be
ahead.
honest, I mean,
Oh, it's up to you, Jerem. I'll let that up to you.
It is important.
Pin, do you feel satisfied in what you've talked about?
Well, I talked about two of basically the chips that Brainiac has. I haven't even talked about what he can do yet.
Okay, then we probably want to. Okay, I think we can cover. We can cover the Time Lord physiology and then move over to Brainiac's like what he can do himself.
Yeah,
Is that sound okay?
I think it's good.
Okay, yeah, I'm fine with that. So basically, Time Lords, they are just regular Time Lords, see all the time. They see past, present, and future at all times. So none of this timey-wimey stuff. would mess with the Master because he can just see all of time. Before the world of Doctor Who existed, there was no physics, no rationality, and nothing. Then the people from Gallifrey came along, like Rassilon, and remade the world into laws, less logic and science. An infinite possibility was restricted to just laws of nature and made into one logical proof. Time Lords have a mastery of space and time. They can defy chronology, throwing attacks that should have impacted, moving at impossible speeds, fold their appendages through space-time that it makes contact with the target. They can even move through higher dimensional spatials to get objects that would be restricted. Oh, there's a wall in front of me. I'll just go to the 4th dimension and get over it. Stupid stuff like that. They can travel through space and time without a TARDIS, so this isn't just a TARDIS thing that the Master would need. They remember each time they are reset in a time loop, which is what happens in Heaven Sent. They can protect themselves from temporal events, so trying to mess with a character's history wouldn't really matter. Thanks to something known as the Rassilon Impim... I can't pronounce this. Why does Rassilon get all the weird names? Time Lords have evolved from mere biological beings into pure time itself, since each of the Time Lords' existence are mapped onto the time vortex. So, you know how characters have a true form? This is true form, like, Time Lords. The existence of each individual Time Lord kind of stabilizes that universe and makes them completely hard to erase or kill, since they can just come back. The status as a Time Lord allows them to withstand chrono-based events, including time schemes, time distorts, time fields, time ruptures, time quakes, and even to a point where entire timelines, up to the big bats of the existence of the universe, was wiped out from existence. Time Lords are just fine. There's other stuff as well. Time Lords can see causality, which is basically the laws of the universe. The softest touch of a Time Lord could condemn a man to non-existence.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Wait, elaborate?
No, I don't think I will. I think... That is literally just a statement, because they are so above the existence. They're also beyond a 4th dimensional reality, which is what the time vortex is. Not only can they see past, present, and future and all of time, they can see the multiverse, and their nervous system are hyperspatial, which contains alternate possibilities of tachyon-based fictional universes and potentials to access it all. That's not long. That's not at all. Because it's claimed that Time Lord physical forms are mere fragments of their true multi-dimensional forms, with their bodies existing in a metaspace. Which their metaspace could subsequently influence probability and instances happening in a 3rd dimensional universe. So not only does the Master have reality looking out for himself, he has himself from another 3rd dimension. We've seen this against the Doctor, who was put up against an individual named Charon, who is a member who could separate universes into different laws of physics, who tried to delete the Doctor layer by layer, trying to destroy his physical form through the, laws of physics and all that, only for the Doctor to pull the mass from their other body, which exists in the higher dimension, to reform their physical 3rd dimension body. Also,
what?
Time Lords have fought their direct writers. The writers were called the enemy. Yeah, that is what a Time Lord is. That's just what a Time Lord is. That's just the whole thing. And, to put this into perspective, the Master killed, all of Gallifrey, which was, all of the Time Lords, apart from, a few. Doctor just got his planet back. He said, yippee! The Master's like, bye! Wait, this happens off screen! They don't even show it! It just happens!
So that's pretty strong.
That's pretty stupid.
Okay, we should... We should probably get into...
back to your chip stuff.
Yeah. So that was very dumb. Get ready to hear this.
Oh,
So
I can't wait to get
Brainiac-
this stupid.
If you say one more thing, I'm leaving.
So Brainiac is also an avatar for a higher being, known as God Brainiac. And you think that was stupid? So basically, there's a little huge crisis event in DC that's very famous called the Flashpoint. Essentially, Flash fucks up the entire multiverse and goes back in time and resets everything, causes a whole bunch of bad stuff to happen. We all know what it is. Pre-crisis Brainiac, who was still alive after the crisis, was in Flashpoint and survived the entire Speed Force multiverse bullshit. Collapsing in on itself, got ejected out of the multiverse past the source well, and mutated into a god, and went back in time to the beginning of time, and kept mutating himself and merging with himself over and over and over, until he became this ultimate higher being akin to like Darkseid, where every single being, avatar, Brainiac in every universe is connected to this god Brainiac, and can act as like, something to inject himself into, essentially. And just for an idea, DC has a multiverse, an infinite multiverse.
Oh, you don't say.
Infinite dimensions inside of those multiverses. The infinite Phantom Zone universes inside of those connected universes. A bigger sphere of the gods that surrounds all of those multiverses that's also infinite. There's also the source wall that protects all of that. And the source, which is an infinite an actual super infinite white space that surrounds even that huger, even greater multiverse. And Brainiac is above that.
We're getting to Doomsday versus SCP, whatever it's called, kind of.
Oh! Who did you just say?
Doomsday? Please
With
don't.
this treasure I summon! With this treasure I summon, Brainiac has also been able to possess and take control of the body of Doomsday. Yeah! He has Doomsday in his arsenal.
Of course he does.
So, if the Master was getting a little out of hand, he can just bring Doomsday in and make him fight the Master as him.
And
do I really need to get into what Doomsday can do, considering he can fight a fucking SCP?
You don't. Please, we don't need to go into an entire other character. Please don't.
So yeah, everything Doomsday can do, Brainiac has access to and can use against the Master. And Doomsday has survived literally everything. So
Yeah.
that's one thing.
Hey, do you want to hear more bullshit?
I haven't gotten to the bodies that Brainiac has yet.
Wait, you haven't gotten to the what?
To what he can actually do by himself.
That's what this entire segment was supposed to be about.
I was talking about what his godhood was and where he stood on the podium of, the multiverse.
Fine.
I'll give
Okay.
a very short version of it. Okay.
Just shorten it down. We don't have a lot of time.
I can go beyond the time.
James probably does not want to.
We're not.
Fine. So Brainiac's most impressive ability is his mental manipulation that he has. He can read minds, create illusions, communicate with the planetary scale, knock a target unconscious, swap minds between multiple people, ensnare a victim's mind with their worst nightmares, alter a target's personality, induce pain, sense minds and presence in others, produce an astral projection of himself, neutralize a nervous system with the right mental frequency, crush a target's mind completely, and that's just with his mind alone. He has technopathy, which can induce hacking into other machines.
Actually, Sorry, really quick. I just want to, because that actually seems interesting. Would the technopathy be able to disable, say, like, the better sonic screwdriver that the Master has?
Theoretically, yes. Theoretically.
Theoretically,
Unless the Master
okay.
has, like, some sort of resistance to that kind of stuff. Does he?
Huh? Oh!
Does he, Saul?
I'm being brought back into this.
Yeah. Sorry, Brainiac has so much. Does the master have any sort of resistance to like
Technopathy.
Oh, hacking. Right. You give me a minute because I'm looking for so much.
Okay. While Saul's doing
We'll circle back to it later.
he has a Brainiac has a remote control falcon that kidnaps children.
He just has a driftblim moment.
Yeah, he has a visibility ray that he could shoot on people that makes them visible. He can make things bigger with an enlarging ray. A force field belt that Superman nor his heat vision can penetrate. It also resisted his effects of the shrinking ray, and it can expand to encompass an entire planet if he chooses to. And if you cause enough harm to it, it can even bounce back enough energy to even kill a Kryptonian like Supergirl.
Bye-bye, Supergirl.
You can also make him invisible.
Okay.
He also has a destroyer gun that destroys things.
Well, okay. When you put it like that, how can he not win?
I can explain.
Okay.
I can come back into this.
Yes, you may. His segment's up. I'm cutting him off.
Okay, so in terms of the hacking, yes, but actually no. There's examples of like it's so no, because there's examples of like hacking can work on certain weapons, and then there's examples of like hacking hasn't worked on the sonic screwdriver. It also doesn't really matter when like you have control of the entire omniverse and he can kind of just create stuff because he controls everything.
Actually,
are we ready for Doctor Who cosmology?
Wait, really quick. Wouldn't the Master have... Does he have transmutation like the Doctor, or did he not? Does he not? Because I remember that being a thing.
Transmutation? Oh! I know he can resist transmutation. I've never heard of the Doctor having transmutation.
No, I think I said it wrong, but it's basically... you know how the Doctor, like, he can, like, just create something out of nothing, like, in his hand? Yeah, does the Master have that, or did he skip school?
Oh, if you're talking about school, the Doctor was actually the one who skipped school. Of
Oh.
It was the Master who was like the child prodigy of
Speech impediment moment.
Yeah, I don't have a speech impediment. I'm just bad at reading sometimes.
You're just British.
Okay, whatever. Okay, yeah. So, assumingly, if it's just a thing that a Time Lord can do, then yeah, because, like I said, comparable. Okay, Doctor Who cosmology time.
Oh God.
Universe is infinite. Okay. Yeah, is that fine? That fine? Yeah. The multiverse is infinite.
Okay, so far they just seem even.
So there are multiple different places in the Doctor Who universe. There is the Void, which is an infinite void between universes with no time and space. There is the Time Vortex, which exists outside of time and space and is what the Doctor uses for time travel. It's what you see in the intro, everybody. It's the thing that I point at all the time. But the Time Vortex is a fifth dimensional thing. Okay, so the multiverse has different narratives inside of it as well. It contains many other works of fiction within it as other universes, which, funny enough, I didn't go into this, but it does include DC and Marvel. Weirdly enough. Although, how canon that is Doctor Who. They're both fictional and non-fictional universes exist, which is what you talked about with the Matt Smith thing. There is... Like I said, the Time Vortex. Time Vortex contains infinite levels which stack on top of each other infinitely.
So, I'm sorry to interrupt you really quick, but it's so funny that you mentioned fictional universes because it's a universe in DC that has our universe that contains all the other fictional universes inside of it too.
The level,
it
contains an infinite hierarchy and is what connects all of the multiverse and keeps it in check. And there's the board. The board is a dimension where the gods created and they use it to play their cosmic games. The sixfold realm, which has 11 dimensions, which is a basically different sources give different information about dimensionality of their own universe, which is what a Type 4 multiverse is. There's the Quantum Angel. The Quantum Angel is a god who was basically able to almost manipulate this. Funny enough, I'm pretty sure it was the Master's TARDIS who fought back against the Quantum Angel, so hey, more 11-dimensional stuff. There's the Grace, and the Grace basically is the bosses of the Guardians of Time, who are even above. And there's the Omniversal Spectrum and the Glory, which keeps the Omniverse together. I need a definition for Omniverse, just to kind of like put into example. The set of coexisting universes, multiverses, with higher dimensionality. And the Master just has access to the Glory by our own standard of rules. So, yeah, it's a lot less confusing than DC, but also as infinite, if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
It doesn't?
No,
In terms of homology, I'll say they're about the same.
Yeah. So
I would say that as well.
I want to go into more weapons and stuff, and like the Toymaker feat of being able to trap him in a dimension. He's basically almost above all of this. He's a low omniversal being because of where he scales, and the Doctor managed to trap him in his own TARDIS. So there's something called the Armageddon Sphere, which the Armageddon Sphere was created by Rassilon. Oh, this man just gotta stop creating things. He's really screwing up his own things here. And they kept it in the Slaughterhouse, which is the coolest name for an armory ever. It tears reality apart to the point where the space-time continuum collapsed into Calibri-Yau space. While the universe could theoretically reform, it would bear zero resemblance of what was there before. Once it was activated, it just couldn't be stopped. In a parallel universe created by the Quantum Angel, which is where the enemy comes in, who are the writers, the Sixth Doctor and Lord President Admiral, what a name, ordered the use of this weapon, which destroyed this reality, and like I said, the Quantum Angel is this 11th dimensional being.
At Saul, can the opponent provide proof of Brainiac being above the Overvoid, considering it's the supreme being of DC?
Yeah, Pin.
They didn't even. They just said the opponent, not
not Pin. You're just the opponent.
Not Pin.
But I'm
I'm also not done with my gear stuff.
Okay, sorry. Sorry, that stuck out to me. I'm sorry.
He's not above the Overvoid, but he existed beyond it without being instantly obliterated into dust. So I think that's
there's stuff like
durability-wise.
Mind manipulation, anything like that isn't going to be an issue for the Master, because there's this thing called the drums, which is the constant.
Here's my question to you, Saul.
Yes.
Maybe mind manipulation won't work on the Master. What about the TARDIS? Can the TARDIS survive mind manipulation?
Does the TARDIS have a... I know it has a consciousness, but does it have a brain?
I don't know if it has a direct brain, per se, that would be able to be manipulated.
But it is a conscious being.
I know the Doctor's is. I don't... Like, maybe... Because House MD managed to strip the body away of the TARDIS and kind of make it into a real physical thing. Can I get back to you on that one?
You can, because my argument is, what's stopping Brainiac from taking control over the TARDIS, realistically?
Fourth dimensional shield, for one.
I mean, even if Brainiac took over the TARDIS, wouldn't a TARDIS from the past be able to show up?
Yeah, there's the whole time travel thing, which I haven't... Surprisingly,
God, I hate time travel.
Time, huh? Thanks for the tip. The Master, obviously there's going to be a bunch of Masters throughout this fight, because they can see all past, present, and time, so if a Master is in front, another one could appear. We see this in the world of a time and the Doctor Falls, where the two Masters interact. I really have to look stuff. Also, you know how there's I mentioned the enemy before? TARDISes can breach the narrative. Like I said, the enemies were the writers. The enemies are always the writers. But they have this... the TARDISes can breach the fourth wall by creating spatial and temporal fluxes. So, yeah.
Brainiac
Hey, dog.
also has a pretty impressive feat in his god form. He survived a punch from Superboy Prime, which has a power to retcon anything from existence. And Superboy Prime is... I'm not going to get into him, but he's like a person outside of DC, like a real-life person who came into DC.
Yeah.
He's
I'm
survived a punch
sorry.
from him,
He's like a Gwenpool situation?
Yes.
except really stronger.
That's why... That's
Oh, God. Okay, so I do have one question.
One more thing.
Of course.
If both can time travel, how would either one kill the other without the past one killing the future one, or the future one killing the past one, or...
Teacher.
I have a suggestion.
Teacher, I have a few.
This...
Oh.
You pick. Who's your favorite germ?
Jim?
Okay, well now this got... Well, I can't show favoritism,
Okay,
so,
I'm starting.
Okay.
Also, I found something on the shrinking point. The TARDIS can also manipulate its size.
Okay, so
to
it's
be
irrelevant.
to be infinitely small or infinitely
So,
big.
so the shrinking thing is completely irrelevant.
Yeah, sorry about that. Didn't find that to that. Also, the TARDIS is also made of conceptual objects. It's not an actual physical thing. It's made of mathematics and equations.
Of course it is.
Is there any sort of point in the Master where he's like mechanical in any way?
What do you mean mechanical?
Like, does he
Like,
have,
I assume a cyborg.
yeah. Is there any point where, like, in his mind, it can lead to a mechanical being?
I don't.
Wait, are you
Talk
asking...
about how, like,
Wait,
in the
okay,
Cybermen, he's
wait,
connected to cyberspace, right?
wait, I'm... Sorry, really quick. Could you rephrase the question?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any point where is any part of the Master's biology have any sort of mechanical presence?
Okay, so
No.
you're basically just asking if he has any, like, mechanical implants?
Yes.
So, considering the Doctor and the Master can both see time infinitely, manipulate it through the whole fifth dimension big B and stuff. There's a couple of ways that the Doctor can and the Master can manipulate time. Obviously, the main thing that Time Lords can do is change fixed points in time. Fixed points in time are points that just cannot change in time. So, like, the destined happen. Like, Brainiac is destined to be born. But he could, like, kill Brainiac, and then no other Brainiacs would exist. There's a bunch of existence erasure stuff that, like, the TARDIS can do as well. There's the paradox machines, which the sorry for a minute. I just paradox machines, which are an item which allow people to, like, obviously mess with paradoxes and stuff and mess with other time stuff. It's a weird one to, like, how do they kill each other?
So, wait, so if I am thinking of this correctly, if the Master went back in time to kill baby Brainiac, baby Brainiac wouldn't be, like, Brainiac wouldn't be able to exist in the future, I think, based off what I know about Reverse Flash.
Not really. Because Brainiac is not like a Flash where, like, he needs to be a baby. His god form has existed forever, basically. He is outside of all of space and time. So not
if
only
they
does
both
the
have
Master to get outside of the universe to even interact with God Brainiac, but God Brainiac also has cosmic awareness where he is aware of alternate futures and timelines. He is the same thing.
So,
you go on,
this
Jim.
circles back to my point, then. How do they kill each other?
To get to that point, I have something specific for that. I think that Brainiac has a huge advantage when it comes to intelligence and experience. And I think that's going to seriously help him in this fight, funnily enough.
I would 100% disagree.
I feel like, the literal time traveler would probably have a lot of experience as well.
I just want to say that outsmarting the Doctor, you're outsmarting a man who can see the past, the present, the future, and infinite multiverse timelines all at once. The Doctor has so many intelligence feats it'd be hard to cover them all today. Some of them include tricking a individual into erasing their own existence in a weird, stupid way. The Doctor, like, he's outsmarted other people. He's outsmarted the Toy Maker. The Toy Maker is a god who has existed since the beginning of the universe. Even before that, depending on what you believe with the Toy Maker, who is an individual.
I don't. I just wouldn't say that the Master, like, I don't think comparing him to the Doctor when the Doctor outsmarted the Toy Maker, but Brainiac didn't outsmart the Toy Maker isn't a
because the Toy Maker didn't exist. To get some experience,
and also
thing for Brainiac really quick. He is considered the smartest being in DC. When people like he humiliates Lex Luthor basically on a daily basis. He is considered a 12th level intellect, which that is the smartest form of intellect in DC. His brain is powerful enough to navigate a ship's computer, accounting for millions of star positions at 1/4 of a normal time. He could decipher any language in a second. When beings like Superman connect to a ship, their thoughts get overloaded and, they just die, basically, because they can't even process all the information. Can process knowledge over 490 octodecillion beings in a short matter of time. Can run 1 trillion simulations of battles in his head. His flow of info into his god form is comparable to the Flash's processing speed.
Oh god!
And he's also mastered all forms of combat.
So a couple of things. Brainiac. The Master is a much more, I would say, tricky and crafty fighter. Brainiac's really straight focused. The Master is a very tricky foe who's not afraid to get dirty and stuff. I just kind of wanted to go over the kind of list of immunities that kind of Time Lords have, if that's okay. The Master is immune to existence erasure. Time Lords have just gazed into things that can erase people from existence, and it's just done nothing. People with precognition powers cannot see into Time Lords. They can't see events around the Time Lord, not even just the Time Lord himself. So even if Brainiac had some way to access further, with precognition and stuff, we wouldn't be able to see anything. Any kind of time manipulation is just null, because when history was happening all at once, all the multiverse, all that was happening, and time was disintegrating, Time Lords have been directly untouched by that. There's a couple others as well. I've already mentioned fate and causality bending around individuals. Space-time manipulation, even from beings who are from a timeless dimension, which is weird. The Master was unaffected by... I know, right? The Master was unaffected by the Time War, and the Time Law was a big conceptual battle, which... yeah. I said about the causality and fate. And the Doctor is immune to anti... Doesn't Doctor Who's multiverse has trans-infinite stuff, making it more infinitely than infinite, whereas DC doesn't have trans-infinite stuff. I didn't actually know that DC doesn't have trans-infinite stuff, but yeah, Doctor Who has that as well. And,
I'd say DC can get trans-infinite if you really think about it too hard.
I don't wanna.
Okay.
And there's also the messing with the Master's timeline is going to do absolutely nothing, which I know is a big thing. Because
God Brainiac can also absorb timelines into his entire body and learn everything that they ever know.
Yeah, because characters have messed with they tanked the continuity bomb. What does the continuity bomb do? To change timelines. Not even even beings like the Toy Maker couldn't directly affect Time Lords as well, because it's so weird. And the Doctor can fight past paradoxes as well.
Brainiac 1 million can bottle hyper time, which is basically all the timelines in DC diverging from the main reality.
Oh!
He can bottle infinite future timelines to gain knowledge.
I have something! Really important.
Okay, save it for later.
No, I have to give it now because it's a big counter. It's just one thing.
Oh. But it's not at that time yet, Saul.
It's just one last
Well,
thing.
I have to be
It's one more thing.
Brainiac can make himself into a bear. Boom!
The master can
Cocaine
become a
bear.
woman.
The master can become a woman. That is a massive
Brainiac
win
can
con.
become, Lois Lane. He literally.
Yes, but
He pulled that spoiler.
basically,
Josh.
the master has the glory, which contains all the infinite, it has all the, it's the omniverse, right? Absorbing the memories of, Time Lords, it's happened to the Doctor as well, has killed the individual on the receiving end.
I wouldn't say that would work on Brainiac. Brainiac has absorbed infinite knowledge.
No, because there's something called the testimony, which is the Time Lord's history, right? It's everything that a Time Lord can do, and absorbing the testimony of the Doctor and then obviously the Master, because they have similar. Oh, it's so weird comparing these two. Would shatter the multiverse. So that's all the infinite layers. That's all the mumbo jumbo that I mentioned earlier. So yeah, I would argue it could affect.
So what you're saying is, if Brainiac absorbed the knowledge from the Master, the
He's gonna
multiverse
fuck him up.
Would destroy itself.
Not that it would destroy the person who's absorbing it.
Why?
Because that's what has happened to other things that have absorbed.
But Brainiac is able to process beyond infinite numbers of things.
Yeah.
Well,
dependent on it, because like you said about the trans-infinite stuff.
By hyper time, but even realities that don't even exist, he can bottle up.
Actually,
and contain.
That's true. Give me a minute. What? Okay, we've gone over the hour.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we have. I've just been sitting here.
Okay. I guess we can go for final arguments.
Okay.
Okay. You know what? I'll give you both a minute.
I'll let Pin go first, because Brainiac is.
I think Brainiac has a superior experience, and they exist on very similar levels of consciousness and time manipulation, and have basically the same exact stats. But I think Brainiac has superior intelligence, experience with dealing with things like the Master before, and very tricky opponents like him before. He could probably hack his TARDIS and take control of it himself, and the Master will be dead.
Okay. The Master has a human body, can just be created back at any time, as other Time Lords has proved. The Brainiac has no way of fighting against the 5-dimensional, maybe other dimensional, true form of the Doctor Who character as well. Also, the Master has the power of the glory. The glory can affect an infinite. Can affect everything, which could be trans-dimensional, which could be even higher of a scale of DC. Not only to mention that, there's an ever-ending army of Cybermen. Like I said, the TARDIS could trap Brainiac if Brainiac entered and break him down.
And Brainiac also has Doomsday.
Fuck Doomsday. Doomsday can just get BFR'd as he did to the Quantum Angel. And the Quantum Angel is an 11-dimensional being. And also, like I said, the fate manipulation stuff. Fucking Time Lords are basically bent to win.
Fate manipulation too, but
okay.
10 seconds left.
Okay, I think. Okay. Jim, who wins?
5 seconons left.
Oh,
okay.
Brainiac's awesome.
The Master said trans rights. Brainiac would not.
No, I need him to.
Canonically.
Gosh darn it! Now the Master needs to win.
I pulled it out. Pulled out my win card.
Brainiac is gender fluid.
Okay. Anyway, so what'd you say, Saul? About what'd you ask me?
Nothing. I didn't ask you anything.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Jim. The poll's up, and you can start talking.
Yeah.
Okay, so you both have broken my mind.
Yay, we did it!
Oops.
We did it. He needs to go to rehab now. But from the way I heard it, these two have no way of actually killing each other.
I was afraid it might be a stalemate, to be honest.
If you call a stalemate, that's fine.
I think, because I know Saul said something about him fighting the writers or the authors.
The enemy.
what could you? I know that we are already at the last point, but could you paraphrase, elaborate on that?
The enemy are the writers. There's nothing else that I can say. They are just the writers. The basically the Time Lords kind of just went to war with the writers.
Like the writers in real life,
They are
the writers in like.
They are literally just. They are considered the writers. I don't know how else to put it without being like, yeah, here's the entire comic where it happens.
Well, to be fair, I think Brainiac also fought Superboy Prime, who's comparable to that kind of stuff.
Nah, Superboy.
Okay, then
fanfic writer versus young boy.
British television versus fan fiction. Who wins?
Basically.
That's true.
But yeah, no, I think I'm gonna have to call a tie. I really don't know how either.
Oh.
Like.
No, you gotta make a call, Jim.
I don't think I think I have to make a tie.
Because I didn't put stalemate as an option on the poll.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I guess it's up. Quick, Saul. Look at the poll. What are the odds? We can coordinate.
Do you think I should put stalemate?
I mean,
I think
it's
that's
a
fair
fair
option.
choice.
What do you think? Do you think
Yeah.
that it's a stalemate?
Do you guys want a stalemate?
That's what we'd have to figure out, isn't it?
Just odd person says germ. Just flip a coin.
That would be funny.
You know what?
Like there is so much we haven't even gotten into yet with these.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, you know what?
New poll.
No. Should I just flip a coin?
Let's just see what I say. We see what I say. We see
with your gut
right.
or stalemate.
I say we should see what chat says first. If they think that there's a definitive winner, or if there's a stalemate. If it's a stalemate, we'll just say stalemate. If there's a winner, Jim, flip a coin.
Because I was thinking out of this debate, I was like, this might actually just be a stalemate.
I think it's a stalemate. Either that, or I just haven't gone too much into the master. Jesus.
Because like eventually it feels like we have to just talk about what's a bigger cosmology?
Yeah.
Which that's kind of lame.
So I feel like they just don't have either ways of killing each other.
Because they both like exist in like outside of everything.
Yeah. Deleting dimensions isn't going to do anything to the two of them. Going back in time and killing them isn't going to do anything because they both.
Like both time travel exist and not.
Yeah.
It's just.
Okay,
It just feels like.
I think Brainiac is still winning.
Really?
Yeah, which I.
Yeah, no. I'm seeing a lot of people say Brainiac for the win. Brainiac wins. Good game. Master beat up the writers Popeye style ?
No, he didn't. It's funny because I didn't.
Did they actually win that fight with the writers?
Yeah, they win.
Yeah,
the
did
war.
they win?
Yeah, they win the war.
Oh, they win?
They win the war.
What were they fighting about?
I'd have to.
Who wrote the better fan fiction?
Yeah, literally. There's also I forgot to mention that regeneration and stuff. Half of the Doctor's regeneration energy could restart all of Doctor Who.
And then like Superman punched Brainiac infinitely through. It was just so dumb.
Like the regeneration thing, basically him and Rassilon reset the entire multiverse of DC. Not DC. Doctor Who. Well, DW.
Yeah, Doomsday really came through with me, I think.
I don't even think Doomsday's that important.
The thing is, like, Doomsday is, like, a big factor, but BFR...
What's funny is,
like I said,
eventually Doomsday will overcome Brainiac. He will, like, evolve.
The Master...
The Master can just go...
Doomsday
the Master has BFR'd people on a higher dimensional scale, and I don't know if people remember, but Guy can time travel versus Guy who would die at the end of the universe.
True.
Okay, I think Brainiac wins. So Jim, you guys.
So you still say stalemate, or are you gonna tie it? It's up to you.
Do you? To be honest, they might just be voting Master, so your win streak's over.
If you vote,
They might just be voting Brainiac, so your win streak's over, Saul.
I think that would be a very shit thing to do.
Anyway, so I'm just gonna flip a coin.
Okay, I want
So
heads.
it's either.
Okay, you want heads?
Yeah.
Oh, but
I
I'm
like
Brainiac.
head.
Yeah, actually, fight for it. Just kidding.
Well, I'm Brainiac.
Okay, you can have head. I don't care.
Oh, okay, heads versus tails. Let me flip the coin. Heads.
See, I should have thought harder.
Yeah.
Okay.
I forgot that I got heads.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Who had heads in the end?
So it's a stalemate again. Yay.
Is that like your second win ever on here?
Mine?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my streak is Brainiac and Spring.
I would. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brainiac.
Thank you
This such
all
like
for watching.
Yeah,
and to all a good night.
Yeah.
Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night, guys.